Israel has been in conflict with its neighbours for much of its existence, but rarely has war felt so close to home for many of its citizens. Only a small fraction of the dozens of ballistic missiles fired by Iran made it through Israeli air defences. But those that did destroyed homes and apartments and would undoubtedly have led to many more casualties if it weren't for the air raid shelters where most people were already hiding. Moshe Shani said he heard the sirens warning of an attack, so went down into the shelter. Minutes afterwards, an explosion shook the door. Sirens wailed for much of the night as Jerusalem and Tel Aviv came under attack. The Iron Dome was able to intercept most of the missiles with only fragments hitting the ground, but some did penetrate the Israeli defences. Israel's government would have expected Iranian retaliation, indeed would have factored it in when deciding to strike Iranian nuclear facilities. Nevertheless, the ferocity of this attack led to Israel Katz, the country's defence minister, warning Tehran will burn as a consequence, while Prime Minister Netanyahu urged Iranians to overthrow their leaders.
The time has come for you to unite around your flag and your historic legacy by standing up for your freedom from an evil and oppressive regime. It has never been weaker.
The IDF released footage of it destroying what it said were surface-to-surface missile launchers. But it was the bombing of nuclear facilities and the assassinations of high-ranking military leaders and scientists, Iran says 3 more were killed today, which have brought the two nations to the brink of all-out war.
And Ian joins me in the studio now. Ian, it's a really worrying situation that's developing here now. What has been the international reaction to this?
Well, there have been predictable calls for a de-escalation from the United Nations Secretary-General and from various European leaders. In the last few minutes, the British Foreign Secretary David Lammy has said he's alarmed by overnight events, and he's spoken to his Iranian counterpart to urge calm. But the position of the British government is interesting. If you go back to April of last year, you'll remember that when Rishi Sunak was Prime Minister, he authorised Royal Air Force Typhoon jets to take part in helping to defend Israel from an Iranian drone attack. This time, there has been no such assistance from Britain. Now, of course, relations are very strained between the two governments at the moment, with the UK criticising Israel's actions in Gaza in recent weeks, and they've even sanctioned 2 far-right Israeli government ministers for their comments about settler issues in the Palestinian territories. That, in turn, brought loud condemnation from Israel to Britain. Now, if that position were to change in the light of events in the coming days and Britain was to become involved in some way, then that would potentially put British military targets at risk, because the Iranian government has warned that they would attack those if they got involved. They've issued a similar warning to the United States and France, because Presidents Trump and Macron have both said that they would help defend Israel against Iranian reprisals.
OK, Ian, thank you very much for the update.